Hello everyone, welcome back to Prince of War Channel. The CH-53K Stallion, Sikorsky S-65, is an American family of heavy lift transport helicopters designed and built by the American manufacturer Sikorsky Aircraft. The Sea Stallion was originally developed in response to a request from the United States Navy's Bureau of Naval Weapons, made in March 1962 for a replacement for the Sikorsky CH-37 Modov helicopters flown by the United States Marine Corps, USMC. In July 1962, Sikorsky's proposal, which was essentially a scaled-up S-61R fitted with twin General Electric T-64 turboshaft engines and the dynamic system of the S-64/CH-54, was selected. On 14 October 1964, the CH-53K performed its maiden flight. The first deliveries of production CH-53s to operational units commenced on 12 September 1966. The first combat use of the type occurred during the following year when it was deployed to the Vietnamese theater. The CH-53 quickly proved its value for moving heavy payloads, particularly in the recovery of damaged aircraft. Several variants of the type were promptly introduced. The United States Air Force introduced the HA-53 Super Jolly Green Giant, configured for special operations and combat search and rescue (CSR) missions during the latter part of the Vietnam War. The majority of these were subsequently rebuilt into the MH-53 Pavlo. The visually similar CH-53K Super Stallion is a heavier lifting improved version of the rotorcraft, designated S-80E by Sikorsky. Its third engine makes it more powerful than the Sea Stallion, and thus displaced it for the heavy lift mission. Furthermore, many early-built CH-53s were refitted with more powerful engines, while others were reconfigured for different mission roles, such as U.S. presidential flights, training, and airborne mine countermeasures (AMCM) operations. Several export deals for the CH-53 were made, leading to several international operators of the type. Among these are Germany, Iran, and Israel. Several unusual or high-profile operations have been undertaken, such as the capture and transportation of a Soviet advanced radar system to Israel under Operation Rooster 53 in 1969, and Iran's capture of 5 American CH-53s as a result of Operation Eagle Claw in 1980. Various operators deployed their CH-53s during international missions, often under the auspices of NATO or the United Nations, such as for UNSDOM in Iraq, in Kosovo with KFOR, IFFOR in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the ISAF in Afghanistan. While several operators have opted to retain the type into the 21st century, many others have opted to supplement or withdraw their Sea Stallions in favor of other platforms, sometimes with the more powerful CH-53E. The CH-53 remains in service with German and Israeli forces and is one of the largest military helicopters in service. Germany is planning to replace its fleet as of the 2020s with the latest version of the twin-rotor CH-47 Chinook. The latest version of the CH-53, the K model King Stallion, is in production as of the 2020s, entering service with the United States Marine Corps. This is replacing the Super Stallion, itself an upgraded version of Sea Stallion. The heavily upgraded Jolly Green Giant and Pavlo versions of the CH-53 were retired by 2008, flown by the U.S. Air Force for combat search and rescue. Overall, the CH-53 was replaced in many roles by the V-22 tilt rotor in U.S. service. The Sikorsky CH-53K Stallion is a heavy-lift military transport helicopter. The CH-53K carries a crew of 4, pilot, co-pilot, crew chief, and an aerial observer. It can carry various payloads, including up to 38 fully equipped troops, 24 litters with medical attendants, an internal cargo load of 8,000 pounds, 3,600 kilograms, or an external load of 13,000 pounds, 5,900 kilograms, on the single-point sling hook. Access to the main cabin is via the large passenger door on the right side of the fuselage behind the cockpit, as well as by a power-operated loading ramp to the rear. This loading ramp was capable of facilitating drive-on loading operations, enabling quicker cargo movements. The CH-53K was designed to have a useful payload capacity in terms of weight of almost half of the rotorcraft's empty weight. It is provisioned with mechanical flight controls, which are backed by 3 independent hydraulic systems. As noted by Sikorsky engineer Edward S. Carter Jr., the rotorcraft could be equipped to facilitate all-weather operations. It shares a somewhat similar fuselage design, albeit on a substantially larger scale, with the Sikorsky S-61R series. While the Sea Stallion's fuselage is watertight, the helicopter is not intended for amphibious use, and its ability to land on water is meant to only be used in emergency situations. To save space, which is normally at a premium on board most naval vessels, both the tail boom and the rotors can be folded while the helicopter is stowed. To reduce the workload involved in this process, an automated folding system was developed by Sikorsky. Both the crew and vital systems are protected by armoring across key areas. All of the fuel was housed within sponsons on either side of the fuselage. The CH-53K was typically equipped with a pair of 7.62 51 NATO M60 machine guns that point out to each side of the fuselage. The CH-53K features a fully articulated 6-bladed main rotor and 4-bladed tail rotor. According to Carter, the relatively high speed requirement stipulated by the USMC was the primary factor shaping the dynamic design. While the Sea Stallion's dynamic systems were largely derived from those used on the earlier Sikorsky S-64 Skycrane, substantial re-engineering were also involved due to the vastly different operating requirements. Extensive use of titanium was made across its dynamic components, particularly for elements that may have been susceptible to degradation over time due to metal fatigue. Initially, the CH-53K was powered by a pair of General Electric T-64-6 turboshaft engines, each of which provided up to 2,850 shaft horsepower, 2,130 kilowatts. These engines were located on the upper fuselage. Later engines included the T-64-1, capable of generating up to 3,080 ship, 2,300 kilowatts, and the T-64-16, which was rated for up to 3,485 ship, 2,599 kilowatts. The HA-53B model featured T-64-3 engines, which produced up to 3,080 ship, 2,300 kilowatts. The improved CH-53D features upgraded engines, initially using the T-64GE412 that could provide up to 3,695 ship, 2,755 kilowatts, then the T-64-413 with its further elevated output of 3,925 ship, 2,927 kilowatts. These more powerful engines necessitated the use of an upgraded transmission. Interior changes included additional seats, which allowed for up to 55 troops to be carried at a time. The CH-53D is generally armed with twin 50 BMG 12.7mm M2/XN 218 machine guns. During the type's later years of service, it has become commonplace for CH-53Ds to have been retrofitted with various defensive countermeasures. Such apparatus has often included an N/ALE-39 chaff dispenser and an N/LQ-157 infrared countermeasure. Later production CH-53Ds featured a blade inspection method, BIM, scheme to detect cracks in its metal rotors. BIM involved pressurizing the interior of the rotor blades with nitrogen. If a crack is present, pressure is lost and a red indicator on the rotor blade tip was tripped. Later, the BIM system was connected to a cockpit display. BIM reduced the need to routinely swap rotor blades. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to support this channel by like and comment on your opinions here. See you in the next video.